everybody, I'm Susan. Welcome to Plateau Art Studio, Art for Kids. I'm here to help you along today with an art project, so let's see what we're working on today. Hi everybody, we're going to create a tall bird today. This is such a cute little project. It's pretty easy, straightforward, so we're going to have some fun with it. So this is my sample. Let's see, I think I may have already forgotten something. Let's see if I have his tails with me. Oh, I do. Okay. Look. All right. Okay. So the bird itself is actually a separate piece. So I'm going to show you how to paint the background and the bird, and then attach his little tail feathers. He's kind of our wacky little tall bird. So let's get started. Okay. So here I have started to paint the background, because I want you to trace. This one I do want you to trace. There's a little pencil drawing and you do not have to trace that right now. I'll explain in a moment. So what I want you to do first is take the bird, and I want you to, we're going to paint the bird. So you decide what color you want your bird. If you want your bird red, yellow, green, you decide. He could have an orange beak, like you decide the color of your bird. I think I gave you several colors, so you can decide that. I'm going to just follow what I did before because I like the color combination, and you're gonna paint this little bird. And it's always a good idea to have maybe another piece of paper or something underneath your, or a paper towel even works great under your bird, okay? Because once you start painting, and if I move this away and I want to put this here, then I'm gonna have wet paint on the back of my project. So for now, I do have a separate little piece of paper down right now. And this might curl because it's going to get wet with paint, but when it dries, it should dry flat, or almost flat. And then we'll glue our bird on. All right, so there's my red. Wash my brush really well. Okay, I'm going to use a smaller brush for the beak. See if I can hold him down enough there. Actually, I'm going to take another brush, and right where the eye is, I'm going to hold him down where the eye is. That's called being creative. So there we go. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I am. All right, there's my yellow beak. I just got a little yellow in my red, so there we go. Now, once you have painted your bird, don't paint the eye, because you know I gave you a little the little googly eyes that we're going to put on. So that's all you need to do right now. We're going to let that kind of dry and let it set up. Okay, now I've got this wet, so I'm going to move that. This is dry. And now what I want you to do is go ahead and use your black crayon or a marker. And when I say marker, use that Sharpie marker. If your mom or dad has a Sharpie marker and they'll let you use it for the art project, that would be fantastic. So this is a black Sharpie fine point. It is a permanent marker, so it does not smear with the paint. Those work great. Or a black crayon works perfect as well. So I want you to go ahead and trace that. So go do that, put me on pause, and then get back to me. Okay, you can pause the video while you trace. Okay, so if you're done tracing, then what I had painted half of this because I wanted you to see that. Hopefully you can see it on the video. You can still see where the bird goes. So that is the purpose for painting. Now if I add some water, I get a thin coat of blue if I add water, just so you can see. But if I just use paint, nice and thick. Now I've already added water, it's gonna be a little thinner. But I just want you to decide and give you that choice if you want it to be a real thick, dark blue. Don't use any water. And if you want it to be a little thinner and lighter, and if you use a little water, it will be a little thinner and lighter, because it'll thin out your paint a little bit. Okay, so I have a little stripe there, but that's okay, because I wanted you to see that you can still see the where my bird goes. So if I want, I can add a little more paint to darken that, but I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. So now I'm going to teach you something fun, how to splatter. So you need your big brush. You need to rinse it out really well. And I want to take some white, and you're going to take your finger, and if you don't want to get your finger with paint, take a paintbrush and do this. And be really careful. This little tiny, what I'm doing is just brushing against the pencil or paintbrush handle, and it's making, and kind of hold it close, and I'm making little splatters. Okay, so be very careful. You don't get this everywhere. Don't go too crazy. We don't need it on the walls and all over your kitchen and everywhere. So just be careful, just do little splatters. But you take a big brush with something that you can splatter against. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Little drops and stuff are just fine. So that is how we splatter. That's a lot of fun. Or if you have a box or something, or a big area. So just make sure that you have an area to do that where it doesn't create a really big mess. Okay? All right. So there we have that. I'm going to rinse off the end of this. Wipe it off. It's all clean. All right. Now we're going to set this aside because it has wet splatter on it. Okay? I want that to just set up and dry a little bit. Now this has started to dry. I want to decorate him. So you get your bird back. He should be starting to dry, so he's not real wet. And we're going to put polka dots on him. Now, how to do that? You can use the end of a brush to put polka dots. My favorite thing is to use the end of a pencil. So I'm going to mix my green. Hopefully you can see this. Let me move that. There. I'm going to dip this just a little bit in green and white so I get both on there. So it's just kind of, you don't have to do that. I just think it's really fun. Just something more fun to do. Little fun polka dots. Kind of swirls. But truly, a pencil eraser works awesome for polka dots. Or you can use, what else? A Q-tip. A Q-tip works really well too, but these always turn out to be like perfect little dots. And I'm just barely dipping, okay? So I don't even have the whole end, just a tiny little dot. Not a whole lot of paint. We'll make a couple go off there. Oh, he's got lots of polka dots. There we go. He's all set. There, he's decorated. Now, that is almost dry. That dried really quick. So now I can use a Google Eye. And you have a Google Eye. And it's sticky, so the back peels off. And you can stick it on, but be careful because he has eyelashes, so you have to be careful. Like, if you want this to dry, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and put them on. So by, oh, that one's got a dent in it. I just noticed that one had a dent in it. He has a dent in his eye. Well, so now, depending on which way I put that, he looks like he's kind of looking up, right? I like that. So let's get our blue paper back. Oops. This is dry now. So I'll put that back here. Okay. Okay, so this is going to get a little wrinkly, and as it dries, it'll flatten out. So what I want you to do now is to go ahead and open your glue, twist it open, and you're going to put an outline just inside that line where the bird goes. If you get a really thick line and it's, you know, gooey, we can push some of it in so it doesn't squish out. You can use your brush. That's a lot of glue. Now that I have glue all over my brush, I want to make sure I wash that really well because I don't want to ruin my brush with glue. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just glue my bird on in that area. Okay. There. I'm going to hold it down for a minute. If you want to wait and have different parts of your project dry first before you do this, sometimes that helps. But there we go. He's stuck on there good. Now I'm going to pick out his tail. So let's see what I have here. All these different ones. This one's cute. This one's cute. I like the blue in that one. Let's see, what do I have? Okay, so the pointed end is what is coming out from his tail. All right, like that. So that's what we're going to glue on. You can figure out how, you know, I really like them spaced apart. And when we're all done, we're going to trace this whole thing in black marker or a black crayon. Okay, so there. Now I can glue these down. I always lay them out first where they go, just so I know exactly where they're gonna go. I use my fingers a lot for things, but if you don't like your fingers getting all sticky and stuff, just be careful with longer. Oh, that one's longer. Oh, that's got cute polka dots on the back. Okay. Glue that one down. And then this one. Okay, so there is my tail. Now you need a ruler. I better put that in this there. Okay. Now we have to wait for this to completely dry, but because I don't want to ruin one of my Sharpies. But what you're gonna do here, you know what? I'll show you on this one. It's already dry. Is I want you to trace the outside here around your bird. You can even go around the eye. When everything, this is when everything is dry, because you don't want to ruin the marker. And just trace around each one. And then you're going to take a ruler, or if you think you can draw a pretty straight line, I must have drawn those cassettes. Then you're just going to make 2 really long little bird legs. You can use a ruler, or if you can draw pretty straight, then just draw them. That's fine. And then this little feet. And I have a little tassel here that you can't really see, so I'm gonna put it in white. But it's just like little hairs on top of his head. I didn't even see that because they were drawn in marker. They were too dark to see. So he has a little tuft of a little feather on his head there. So that is our little project today. That's a little fun one to do. And your little wacky tall bird. So I hope you like that, because that's really fun. You got to learn how to make splatters and little polka dots. My favorite way to make polka dots was with the end of a pencil. And always make sure you wash that. just like a brush, make sure you wash that. You don't want to try to erase with paint on there. So that's it. Have a great day. I hope you like that project. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Well, hey everybody. I hope you had fun with that project today. I know I did. So tune in next week. We'll see what we have a new project next week. Okay? Bye-bye now.